Resistance. Give me another one again. Inductance. Give me another one again. Capacitance. Impedance. Yeah, all those ones are power variables. But in CCTV, we only need two. And those two power variables that we need is the voltage and the current. In exceptional cases, you need also the wattage. And let me tell you this, the minimum current that our camera needs to work is 0.3 amps. You better put it down. You know you will need it. You just come here and say, okay, please, what's the minimum current that power needs to run? And I will tell you to go and send 5,000 naira recharge card before I tell you guys. The minimum current that your camera needs to work is 0.3 amps. So I want to ask you a question. 3 amps. The food that you are giving in camp, that's what I'm doing. That your camera will use your multimeter to read it. It brings 0.3 amps. The camera will come up, but that doesn't mean that your camera will work effectively. So most cameras have what we call the optimum rating on them. In some cameras, you will see they write 12 volt, 2 amps. In some cameras, this is 12 volt cameras. In some cameras, they will not write 12 volt, 2 amps. Wattage is what? Volt times current, yes or no? So in some camera, instead of you seeing 12 volt, 2 amps, you just see them they write 15 watts. 15 watts means with 12 volts and around 1.3 amps, that camera will work what? Effectively. How do I get what I'm saying? But I want to ask you another question again. Assuming this morning they gave all of you pounded yam, what will happen when you get here? You start sleeping. But assuming this morning they gave you only water, what will happen by the time you are here? You'll be restless, you'll not sleep, you'll be feeling hungry. What am I trying to say? That a camera has a rating on it doesn't mean that it will be working on that rating 24 hours. But for that camera to work effectively, please 1 hour. But for that camera to work effectively, maybe when you are ready, we'll continue the class. No. At power ratings. Let me now say something about unit power. Your normal DSTV charger at home is also a unit power. But there's one important thing when you are using unit power. You must ensure that the power rating of your unit power is the same thing as the power rating of your camera. So if this unit power that you normally call a charger is 12 volt 1 amps, your camera is also 12 volt 1 amp. The two will work effectively. Are you guys get what I'm saying? Yes. But if this camera is 12 volts 2.5 amps or 2 amps, and this unit power is 12 volt 1 amps, it might work. But when it comes to a certain time of the day, you just notice that the camera will start fumbling. And if the power rating is also higher, the excess wattage or current entering this camera, it will be released as heat. You will now notice that the camera that will be spending like an average of between 3 to 7 years, within 6 months, they will tell you that the camera has what? Has spoiled. All you guys are with me. So if you are using unit power, you must ensure that the power rating of your camera is also the power rating of your unit power. The next one we have now, we have central power. I normally advise that we use central power. Number one advantage of this central power is it has what we call intelligent power system. You know, I said something earlier. I said your power that you are given per the day and this morning, everyone will be sleeping. Intelligent power supply means what that camera needs at a particular time is what it will give out. If, as you guys are seated now, you are more relaxed, what is actually working is your brain. By the time you are doing mouth part, what is actually working is your leg. By the time you are inside the hall, and you are writing, what is actually working in your hand. In a CCTV system that you are having 4 cameras, 8 cameras, 16 cameras, doesn't mean all those cameras will consume the same thing. They will need different power depending on where individual camera is. You have a question? Yeah. You have less than 10 minutes to the end of this class.
You're buying these things.
Yes.
Are you buying it together with? Is it coming together with the?
It depends. There are sometimes you buy your CCTV, they call it a CCTV pack. Inside that pack, you already have your cameras, everything there. The only thing that might not be enough is your cable. So you might need to buy more cables. But in some setup, you might need to buy each of them individually to suit the purpose of the job that you are doing. Have I answered the question? So can I move on? Yeah, so another question.
Which one is preferable? Buying all together or buying the
I said it depends on the nature of the job that you get. If your job is, let me say you are having a job of 8 cameras in a duplex that is on 4 plots of land. If you buy a CCTV pack, most of the cables that you buy there will not be functional because you need cables that are actually longer than that. But if you are installing